And on another side note, but very important note that I forgot to mention is that it's just as important, goddammit, what you put in your body, man. Don't feed your body shit. Your body gonna get pissed off. It's gonna attack you. You know what I mean? It'll come in the name of some kind of disease. They'll tell you it's diabetes, or some other shit. But excuse my language. It's getting hot in here. You know, be nice to your body, and your body will typically be nice to you. But you be mean to it, feed it all kinds of ungodly things. Well, ungodly things are gonna manifest. And so I'm not gonna get all scientific and proclaim to know that I'm some kind of nutritionist or doctor or whatever. There's plenty of misinformation going on out there. But what nobody really talks about, right, is that there's essentially there's three parts to consuming food, right? I mean, there's the consumption, there's absorption, and then there's elimination. And the one thing that nobody seems to talk about, like you just barely find it in any textbook or anything, is elimination, right? Nobody talks about elimination. Everybody's talking about getting all the nutrition you need and the vitamins and minerals and like that shit. That's already, there's plenty of information out there, but nobody talks about elimination, and it's just as critically important. I mean, even back when all the famine and stuff was going on, back when cities were dirty. Basically, they had no sewage system, And then when the invention of a sewage system came about, an efficient one, that's when a lot of diseases started going down, a lot of famine and stuff like that. And the vaccines, got a lot of credit for it. And, I don't want to get all conspiracy and whatever, your thoughts on vaccine and all that. I don't even want to touch this like religion. People get all like sensitive about that. But, a lot can be said for elimination, and you can imagine when the streets were piled with garbage and all kinds of stuff that people used to throw out, and they had no way of really getting rid of it in an effective manner. You could imagine like all the bacteria and diseases and whatnot that can arrive of that. So, throwing religion and even throwing science aside for a moment, like not that any of those things are wrong, but just using logic, pure logic and reason. If you're eating things, right, and your body is getting backed up, like shit is not coming out quite literally how it's supposed to, like what do you think is gonna happen? If your body's getting backed up, what do you think you got inside of you? That's like, you know what I mean? Shit is piling up in there. Of course, like complications are gonna arise. Like it doesn't take a rocket scientist. Like nobody had to tell you that smoking cigarettes hopefully was unhealthy for you. Like did you really have to wait for a guy in a white lab coat to tell you, the double-blind studies have come back and apparently smoking cigarettes has there's a probability that you might catch lung cancer. What do you know? Like at some point we have to, especially not in today's world where there's so much misinformation going on, it's important that we just come back to logic and reason. You know what I mean? And so there's some things that the body can easily digest. There's other things that it cannot, And I'm a firm believer that live foods, you know what I mean, is I think what we're meant to eat. You take 2 carrots, right, and you boil one, and then you put them both back on the ground. One of them keeps growing, the other one doesn't. So what did we kill in it? Something got killed in there. And so I'm a firm believer of that. But whatever your beliefs are, there are certain foods that you shouldn't be eating, and at the very minimum, we do know that if we let go of meat, you'll just save yourself a lot of trouble, by doing so. And even if you still want to eat meat, fine, but like limit the consumption. You know what I mean? Like even a freaking lion doesn't eat meat 3 times a day. You know what I mean? Like, so just try to limit it. Like just make effort to just improve, to get better. But I'm telling you, since I let go of the meat, my anxiety, depression, all that stuff just went away. We are what we eat, and the animals that we're eating are going through that suffering. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that, some of that may be leaching onto you as well.